Howdy guys, I'm F08, your favorite Wolf Hero enthusiast, and welcome back to Fire Emblem The Lonely Mirror. This is an FE8 hack made by Caladrius, and today it is time for Chapter 29, Dark Ripples. So yes, it has been quite a while since the last episode, if you're watching in the now. If you're watching from the future, hello, I guess. You're not beholden to my laziness, but I've got a free week now, so we're gonna go ahead and finish up the game good and proper. Let's Play shouldn't take 8 months just about to finish up, but we'll see how it goes. This looks like a fun chapter. I've had a small peek into it thanks to the rune guide. But now for the story. How much time has passed? It's only been a couple hours. I think opening the gate under the castle may have caused the disturbance. As Dracbola awakens, are we too late? Matona appears to be in disarray from the look of things. Many of the people have transformed into monsters, oh my gosh. But not all of them have. I mean, we haven't, right? Yes, the phoenixes must have protected us from being corrupted. Oof, if that's all that was protecting us. That's probably why the damage appears less near the castle. Then all we need to do is accompany the phoenixes to the Lonely Mirror. To the Loinely Mirror? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, that's one heck of a typo. And close the darn thing. And save Arin, too. Of course, we're going to save everyone. I have already prepared our fastest ship, the Cygnus, for immediate departure. Good thinking. The Cygnus is much faster than that rickety ship from the New Granary. If we follow the river south, we should have easy passage to Eliora. Awesome. Oh, okay, it's Granny Edith. Okay. Granny Edith, what are you doing here? Granny still got game. It wasn't easy to warp all the way here. It's good to see you're alright. We were able to obtain Lita's flute, but we fear the worst has happened. The worst has happened from the look of things. Just a couple typos. That's not indicative of the whole story or anything. It's true, the steel in the Lonely Mirror has finally shattered. Dracbola has awakened and is gathering power. I'm afraid we don't have much time left. I have brought with me Celsius Bell and Juvir's Drum. Juvir's Drum? Devante had that. What of my brother? The malevolence around the Lonely Mirror grew too strong. There was still power left in Vetti's heart, and Devante was able to shield the world enough for me to get here. Ooh. I don't know his fate. I see. Here, you should take these sacred instruments. See if the Phoenix can imbue them with light again. I understand. We'll make it work. Do you kids have a plan? We have a ship prepared to get us to Eliora as fast as possible. We know what we must do to save Aramas. I'm proud of you kids. If you know warp magic, could you get us to Eliora faster? I can warp maybe one or two of you at best, but that is enough to face. But is that enough to face what awaits us? I suppose not. Wishful thinking. Then we must look for an opening to reach the Cygnus. Yeah, a little bit of a typo there too. I fear that these monsters will be troublesome. Nonsense theory, this will be easy as pie. Ooh, I hope it's that easy. Ooh, I've heard quite the opposite, I gotta say. Let's have a quick peek into the map before we do our preparations. We see some green units lying around. Here's the Cygnus. Okay, it's got 2 ballistas. That's gonna be helpful throughout this. Okay, so it's not way down at all. It's got 16 speed. It might actually see it fire twice. See, here's the Cyclops. Right. Some very scary enemies. We're starting to see a lot of promoted enemies at this point. They're already, yeah, they're impressively strong. I can only imagine how they are in Maddening. Actually, I don't have to imagine how they are in Maddening because I have seen a screenshot. And some of these guys are capped out, so if you're playing on Maddening, have a very fun time with this chapter. I'm sure you will. Here's some Amatona soldiers. They are going to get demolished on frame 1. I am almost certain of it. We'll try to save as many of them as we can. If we can, I don't know if there's a reward for saving them all. I guess we'll see. But anyway, before we do preparations, we have some things to look at. Of course, there's Lael. She's newly promoted. Of course, mine didn't level all that well because I very distinctly did not use her. I guess we'll see how that goes. We'll bring her along, mostly because it's Forest, but also because she has A rank in both staves and anima magic and some light magic prowess. So we'll see how she goes. But of course, the big one this chapter is Miss Edith. A sweet old lady who has protected the Lonely Mirror for generations. She's got the light affinity. Now, in terms of supports, I don't think she's going to be getting anything. She's also got 5 con, which means she's going to get weighed down by a lot of things. So this 20 speed may be a little bit, like, deceiving. She comes with the Rex Bolt. Okay, that's the S-rank Thunder Tome. She's going to be our user of it. We don't really have another Thunder Sage. She comes with Thoron, very good tome. Of course, she is losing, like, 9 and 6 speed, respectively, from these, so we might see about getting her just a regular Thunder Tome or something, just so that she's not weighed down as much. The Fortify Staff can be very big. She can heal us all with this impressive 24 power. Let's see, as for her growth rates, she has a 30% HP growth, 40% power, 35% skill, 20% speed, 60% luck, 10% defense, and 50% resistance. Yeah, basically as you'd expect of her level ups, just with the exception of the low speed growth, not exactly pertaining to the high speed base. I guess she did her leveling in her younger years, and her growth rates as such have lowered with time. But this is a very good unit. I have no complaints whatsoever. She's force deployed here, and it looks like, yeah. I will have to do my preparations, so I guess I'll be right back. Alrighty, some very long preparations out of the way, finally. We have a very fun map on our hands by the look of things. Let's see how it goes. Queen Loretta, you should find someplace safe to hide. I don't think there's anywhere left for me to hide anymore. A great cataclysm has enveloped the land, and my kingdom is under attack. I will do my part to support you in any way I can. You've done plenty already, just don't overdo it. I'm afraid it hasn't been enough. Your journey to Elior will be dangerous, Boone. See that you increase weapons and supplies before you head out. Yep. Thank you, Queen Loretta. Oh, thank you. That's very nice. So I am under the assumption these are going to be some of the last shops that we end up seeing, if not the last ones outright. There's some very, very good equipment in here. I'm very much looking forward to getting into that. However, we do have 10 turns that we need to survive, with some very scary monsters more or less here to destroy us. There was no, like, I can't find an incentive to keep these guys alive. Maybe they're just sort of here as like a, you know, sort of an idea of, oh, these are the final remaining soldiers and they're trying to protect what's left of the land. Okay, that's a little bit scary. See, these guys are already beginning to bop us pretty good. I went ahead, gave one to our best girl, the Dorado, the Sacred Lance. It's gonna have 30 Mighty Ants monsters. A little bit less against this guy because he's, well, an axe one, of course, but that's how that'll be. Of course, there's Joseph. I did see that this guy, well, there are two, actually, that are in place to attack the ship right off the get-go. I do want to get rid of them as soon as possible. So I'm going to... Yo, I don't know about that, actually. Maybe I need to rethink a little bit. Surely the ship, yeah, it has enough HP and defense. It'll survive at least, you know, the 2 hits that it'll take. How do I want to go about this, though? Because she does get a little bit of power from her support, but it's not going to be enough. She would have to land the crit, which, to be fair, isn't the least likely thing in the world given the circumstance. Oh, the Dorado's 2 range. That's awesome. That's really cool. I think I've found the sacred weapon that we're going to hit the Hamern, or hit with the Hamern. Well, let's try it out. Let's see what's gonna happen. Would love a crit so we could save a use, or just see the crit animation. I know it's not any different just because it's a legendary weapon, but feels nice to land crits with them. Let's see, Saoirse, can you crit for me? That'd be great. That'd be amazing. I would very much appreciate it if you could crit. I thought about bringing Terran along. I did bring along Shane. He and Terran actually have a support, and I'm very interested to see how that one would go. I'm under the impression as of right now that it would be like the placeholder support, but that's fine. That's perfectly okay. Let's see. So in this case, so one thing about Lael, she is able to use fire magic specifically with her Phoenix, which does make sense. Phoenixes are associated with fire and whatnot. She can't use thunder. She can't use like bolting or anything. That's going to be left to Miss Edith here, of course, but she does have the meteor access, so I might throw a meteor. This might be her chance to get some, you know, good experience. She's really not going to be doing much. Oh. Fire magic is effective against the Meludons specifically, but not all of Cavalry, is that it? Oh, wait, does she just have Slayer built in? Is that it? Is that the thing that she has with, like, light magic too? Okay, so she just has Slayer. That's really cool. Honestly, that's something that she needs. Well, I mean, in that case, I might throw her the Divine Tome or something instead. Like, I could put Boone here, and he could pretty easily fend everything else off here. As long as she doesn't get attacked from... I mean, she does. As long as we can kill that guy with, of course, Shane. Which we can do. Awesome. Let's get him some action. Shane is a unit that I very much enjoy, and I'm glad that we have the deployment spots for him. Looking at my roster, I noticed that I'm using a lot of different units compared to my Iron Man run, which does tie into the question of the day. Let me know how you've been enjoying that run. It's been very fun personally. It's kind of weird seeing, like, Winifred, Miles. I doubt I'm going to end up using Pepper, but, like, a couple of these units, Parvati. Lael's actually a lot better in my Iron Man. She's so much stronger in that run. But let's see, I'm going to try the Meteor Tome with her. Like, it's a 43% chance, and it's probably not going to hit. Maybe I should just save. She has, like, no hit rate. This is a lot of damage, but she has, like, no hit rate. her skill is super low because I haven't used her like at all, and the meteor's already not super accurate. I might just have to run down there with Sylvan or something. Like, honestly, these two could fend for themselves just fine. 33 damage, 34 after weapon triangle. She's literally taking 11 times 2. And then she's one-shotting in return. And she's probably dodging anyway. Like, she's got 67 avoid, minus 10 for weapon triangle. It's less than a 50% chance to hit her even with the Dorado equipped. So, that's cool. Actually, it might be a little bit less. I wonder if she gets weighed down. Okay, so she loses 1 speed. Well, no, it displays her dodge regardless, so it doesn't matter that much. Anyway, what I do want to try is, of course, grabbing the most powerful tome I have, because, you know, obviously, if Leo gets into combat against anything, she's going to die anyway, so whatever has the most might, let's go with the Volganone. Oh yeah, that's some good damage. However, it's still not going to kill exactly. Oh well, let's see it. We haven't seen her animation yet. Ooh, that's clean. That is the Volganone animation from Shadow Dragon, but, like, that's one I very much enjoy. Just short of the kill, but that's okay, because Miles can block her off, use the Axe Reaver, and also bait up the Cyclops. That works perfectly for me. And then Boone is, of course, blocking off with the help of Shane, so Leo should be fine. I don't see any circumstance where she wouldn't be fine. Short of that guy having, like, a spear or something. Let's see. I just want to make, like, extra sure, because she is a game over condition with, like, no defense. I think it was spoken on briefly in my server. KG McLeod brought up a good point that I think Dark Affinity would be kind of baller on her. I will say the Anima is probably the second best. Like, it gives crit avoid, it gives attack and defense. That's not a bad one whatsoever. But I think that her defenses are almost to the point of being so paper thin that it doesn't matter anyway, so just having the extra avoid, and then also providing some crit rate would be kind of huge. Can we just kill this guy right off the... Nah. Okay, so Excalibur is actually not effective against monsters. A little bit of a shame, but it makes sense. I do have him with the Ruined Tome. Being in range of both Wise and Miles is going to push the Ruined Tome's crit rate pretty much through the roof. It's an additional plus 15 from his ace support with Miles compared to this right here. So if Miles was over here, he would be doing, what, like 74 crit rate? Which is pretty impressive. It's really, really impressive. Like, we can even see a little bit of a boost on this guy in comparison. He has a lot of res, actually. What? Okay, I guess Revenants are the res monsters in this hack. Honestly, that's a good way of doing it. Okay, you have cap speed, of course. Got to be a little bit careful. We do have Parvati up here with the Bright Rune. We do have a couple of runes that we want to pick up this map, but not ones that I'm, like, super, super caught up on if I don't get. That's scary. Okay, you can't reach it that far, though. As long as I don't kill that guy, it actually can't reach Boone. So, maybe it's gonna move. This is gonna move first, though, so it's going to attack Boone or whoever. Alright, so this is the defend map. We don't have to spread our forces super thin or anything. I might be getting in over my head a little bit. There are no villages to protect. It's just survive and then also grab equipment while we can. Okay, good to keep in mind. Okay, so can we... I think that the plan I had here was to shoot this guy with Winifred because that's in range of the Miles support and everything. Maybe she'll crit. 55 crit rate is not... Yo. Yo. Sure shot crit. That's a good way to start at Winifred. Winifred's a unit that I'm going to miss using because I really, really enjoy Winifred. Of course, that isn't, like... That's not to say that I won't use her on subsequent runs, because I will be playing this game more than just these 2 times. This game's way too much fun to do anything else with. And it is getting updated on the regular. Caladrius has been popping into streams and in the comment sections giving updates and whatnot. This game has a long future ahead of it, and I hope that everyone... I've said this so many times throughout this run, but I hope that everyone watching this run does play this game for themselves. If you enjoy Fire Emblem, you're going to love this hack. That's pretty much how it is in my mind. At least base Fire Emblem. If you're more into, like, the skills and whatnot, I'm just gonna go ahead and kill this guy. I don't want him sitting around with the Brave Axe. If you're more into skills and stuff, then you may not as much, but, like, personally, I don't really care for skills in Fire Emblem GBA, so this is the best of all worlds, personally. Okay, so Winifred might take a hit from him, but that's perfectly okay. That is a Sonic Sword. She's also got really high avoid, especially with Miles in range, so I'll keep Miles where he is. I might throw... Let's see, you have Shadow Shot? Okay, cool. I might throw Miles into the shops with the silver card. I probably should have stopped and put that on him to begin with in preps. Miles is a cool unit. He really, really is. It's just that I didn't level him properly in this run. And then in my Iron Man, other things took place, so... I guess there's that. I don't know. The main thing here is I just want to keep Parvati out of range of basically everything. Let's see, my Leah is kind of popping off, actually. I must have given her some defensive stab boosters or whatever. I'll pop her here with the Shine Tome, so that she doesn't take Weapon Triangle disadvantage anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then attack to here, so we'll just throw on the Slim Sword, I guess. I do want to build some supports with Leah sometime. She's a really cool character. I've enjoyed her presence all throughout the story. Okay, she is in range of that. Hopefully it attacks her over Boone, and then I'll put Joseph in range of Wise, I suppose. What's left? Just Dancer and Noelle? Or, Edith and Noelle? Edith is more or less going to be a staff bot for the remainder of the game, I believe. She can, of course, use the Rex Bolt, and that's going to be some huge damage where necessary. But as it stands right now, it's not super necessary. Thoron's home, 15 crits. Maybe she'll land some crits here and there. Miss Noelle, where do we want to send you to? Because you don't really have anything to do this turn. Stands for Miles, I guess. Maybe we can even use... Ouch, actually. That's a little bit of an oof, but... it's 97 hit with a Poison Axe, even less with a Hand Axe, I'm sure. No, it's the same. Either way, she's dodging that basically 100%. I'll leave Miles here just to give the avoid. And then we'll see. I've got a Sleep Staff. I feel like Edith is basically going to be my best bet for like, status staves. I've only got the one, and then the Silence as well. I'll just leave her here with a generally middling position. Maybe she'll get some work done. Okay, yeah, the soldiers are going to get bodied pretty immediately. That makes perfect sense, though. We gotta protect the Queen as well. I'm almost certain she's a game over condition. It would make perfect sense. Actually, would it? I mean, it would. Ooh, Pierce. Pierce, you love to see Pierce with an Axe Reaver. Especially on one of the tankiest enemies in the game. I think that's gonna be a Lail kill, actually. Ouch, yeah. That man's super dead. That's a shame to see, but I guess that's how it's gonna be. Please dodge. You will. Yeah, you will. You'll dodge. The low % hit rates, they're not that big a deal. It's 2RN. 2RN's a lot of fun to deal with. I've actually seen some arguments against 2RN, like, under the RNG is lying to you premise, and I can't sympathize, like, not even slightly. That guy's dying to poison if he doesn't die to the Melodon, or to the Tarvos. But yeah, I just can't sympathize with the 2RN equals the game is lying to you idea. It just doesn't work. It doesn't, truthfully, like... Okay, if I'm gonna go into the specifics on it, the reason that it doesn't work is because it doesn't matter, like literally at all. It makes the higher hit rates more likely to hit, it makes the lower hit rates less likely to hit. It gives you a much stronger basis with which to form your opinions. And then if you don't care about the RNG, like if you're just playing to play, and the RNG calculations mean nothing to you, then that's perfectly fine too. The higher hit rates are more likely to hit, the lower hit rates are less likely to hit. That's like basic math. And then it plays into that a little bit more specifically. It also makes stuff like, say for example, let's assume that there's a really scary enemy in your range, and you have a Javelin. And the Javelin has an 18% hit rate because the enemy is already dodgy and it's in the forest, right? Okay, just hypothetical, not saying this has happened or anything, but let's say you have an 18% hit rate, right? And then you throw your Javelin and it hits. That 18%, it's actually closer to 6%. I'm not saying this has happened, not to me, no, certainly this hasn't happened, not in my Iron Man run. And then that 18% lands. And it's the best feeling in the whole world. Please don't dump me. Shoot, Shane's dead. Dang. Okay, and then a 72%, very likely to hit. I'm sorry, Wise, in the end, I didn't live up to your expectations. Yeah, that's a shame. I didn't keep that in mind at all. We'll have to go ahead and make a quick cut, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I think that we're roughly back where we left off. It's the enemy phase of the first turn. As you can see, I decided to bring along Terran, and the reason I'm cutting in here is because of this. This kind of surprised me, so... yeah. Very good job, Terran. This is why we bring you over Shane, it would seem. Yeah, this is just the enemy phase. We're leading back up into where we left off and stuff. Here's hoping we don't die again. Please. Joseph, I think you're gonna be fine, but please don't die somehow. As you can see, I brought along Terran instead of Shane. I swapped over some positionings a little bit. Interesting, you don't usually see Cyclops animations, or miss animations, I suppose. But yeah, anything can happen, I guess. I don't know, this is a fun map, but I very much got bodied on the first turn, due to my own lack of awareness. Shane is really cool, but have we gotten the Philly shield replacement yet? I'm not sure. If we haven't, then that's a little bit of a shame. I guess I could see why if it's not in the game. Wise and Shane are definitely very strong. They would need a little bit of a check, I suppose, in that way. That said, of course, Faith is gonna die regardless. I guess Helga's there, but like, I haven't used Helga, so I don't know how she fares with regard to all of that. I'm under the impression that Wise is built. Oof, rip. I'm under the impression that Wise is built similarly to a Pegasus Knight, whereas she is built similarly to a Wyvern Knight. So maybe she would fare better, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay, Leah should be more than fine. Shadow Shot's scary, but I made sure to place Boone this time so that he wouldn't take the hit instead. I have Parvati there with the Bright Rune as well, so hopefully that Gorgon can get one shot or something. And of course, here's Sersha with the Floret. We're making good use of this weapon. Hopefully, okay, awesome. Good to see that crit. You don't get to see the up-close one too often because we use the Floret at such range, usually. We are going to see the Floret used again against the same Melodon that killed the big man last time, Mr. Shane. I'm not gonna lie, that Shane getting two-shot by the steel bow dude, that makes me question whether I want to use him in Maddening. It's gonna be a very hard decision to make, without a doubt. Okay, and this time I did bring the silver card. I put it on Miles. I figure he can just visit the shops and stuff whenever we have the time. There's no way that Sersha's getting doubled by this guy, so we should be more than fine. Even the crit. Okay, that's gonna be just short of a kill, but we have the double, most likely. Never mind. Okay. Enemies are getting quite fast, that much is for sure. I don't know if I have a Slim Sword on her, but... Ooh. No defense. Or no damage. Dang. Very unfortunate. Okay, so... Some of these dudes. Death Coil. Okay, that makes sense, I suppose. Okay, so how do I want to go about killing these guys? I probably shouldn't spread out my forces too much. I could see that going very poorly very quickly. Okay, so 26 speed. Yeah, that's gonna actually double Sersha. Interesting. Well, I guess it doesn't matter so much with Boone because he has so much defense, it's not going to destroy him or anything. Honoris isn't effective against... Right, it's just like, it's the Milarepa, more or less, but... Legendary, I guess, I don't know. Battle Axe, do I have the Devil Axe? Do I? I do. I bet it's not going to be enough damage. I'm not punished for doing this. Oh, glowy purple background. That's not something you see often at all, actually. I bet that's custom for this game. That's really cool. Yeah, I do like my Devil Axe. It's at 420 uses. Now you have to like and subscribe. That's how that works. I don't make the rules, except I kind of do a little bit, but not really. You gotta like and subscribe now. Okay, so as for this situation, I guess she's just gonna have to do some stuff as per usual. We can stand here on the river with her, luckily. Brave Axe gets the job done. So does Lord Moore. I'm certain. Hand Axe, not quite. We'll save a little bit of equipment and use the Silver Axe. She's in range of Sylvan, so she's got her supports and stuff. You love to see it. Pepper's been a really fun unit to use. I'm almost certain I'm not using her in the next run, unfortunately, but she has been really fun to use. I'm not really sad about using her in any way whatsoever. Guess I'll shoot this one with Sylvan. I don't want to use the Great Bow too much, so I guess I'll just use Silver instead. Or Steel. Steel works. I might pick up an additional Steel Bow. I'm liking the backgrounds quite a lot. They're more or less just recolors of what we've got already, but that's perfectly in line with what we're working with here. Can he? Is he gonna be able? Oh, cool. Awesome. Good job, Terran. Very good job, Terran. I would say that for this, we're going to find ourselves in a situation wherein Terran's going to be out of the combat for a while. Unless monsters start spawning, which, to be fair, there are a lot of ruins down here. I could see that being the case very easily. Did I throw a better... No, well, not necessarily better, but like weaker tome? I guess Edith can do that. She's got Physic, although Physic would be good for Joseph right about now, too. I do need this one to die. I really, really need that one to die. I guess Winifred can take a step back and I can generally just do Killer Bow stuff with her. I really hope for a crit here. Oh my gosh. Okay. She got hit by the 27. That's going to change up my plans a little bit. I could dance for her still and throw her on the forest, but I don't want Noelle to be in too much danger, which she wouldn't be, to be fair. We'll just go for it. That makes me wonder how I want to go about things. Do I have the recover staff on you? I just have mend, but that should be fine. You have... Yeah, you'll heal him to full. And I would really like Wise over with him. More or less just to heighten the crit rate against that guy. Let's see, where's... Okay, so how do I want to go about this? This is a little bit of an issue too. I really want this one to die this turn, because Shadow Shot is scary. It's definitely got less range than previously, from the 310 range spell that it used to be, but it's quite terrifying. Could Wise kill that one? I could just leave this one alive. It's a Brave Axe, but it's not going to affect us in any, like, super meaningful way. Because all of these units are more than fine to take at least one hit, and then they'll all kill on retaliation. I think she's fine, actually. 9 defense. So that's what, Brain, please do the thing. That's actually a lot of damage. She'll die. No, she won't. Yes, she will. My brain is not on. 24 times 2. 24 times 2, so I can't allow that to happen. I think I'm gonna have to use Wise for this. He can fly over the rivers and whatnot. Over the rivers, through the woods. To Granny Edith's house we go. I guess that's accurate too, because that's where we're heading to. Oh well. A little bit of a shame that we had to take this detour in the way that we did, but not a shame, because 20 power on Wise. A little bit of res too, doesn't hurt anyone. In fact, it strictly benefits us. Very much likewise, he's... likewise, that's a word. I very much likewise, he's been a lot of fun to use. Yes, okay, good. That's perfect. Well, 1 damage over perfect kill. Very happy with this. Let's see, how do we want to proceed from here, though? This is going to shoot Winifred. Actually, that's going to shoot Noelle. Then Winifred's going to be boxed in. What do you have? Dragon Spear, you can hit her. I mean, she'll dodge. She has so much avoid. I can even put him in her range, and then she'll just have even more. Like, she's got 90 avoid now. You're not hitting her. Yeah, you're not hitting her. Most of these have, like, virtually 0 hit rate against her. If she gets hit and dies, I'm going to bench her for the rest of the game despite this. No, I'm kidding. There's probably no way I could get away with doing that. I'm just gonna heal. Should I? I could just... Yeah, I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna heal. Whoosh. This is a cool animation. Maybe I shouldn't whoosh through it in exactly one shot. But that's a cool animation. I'm very much down with it. Wanda's probably fine to stay here. She has so much defense, like, it's kind of unreal. What is she taking from this? 9 damage from you. She actually 2 rounds this one, or 2 shots this one, which is a little bit of a rarity. Could Parvati kill this guy with the Bright Rune? Nah, not quite. Not unless we landed a crit with Joseph first. That's a lot of damage, though. If I don't kill this one, he's going to be in danger very quickly. I guess I'll use Edith for that job. I'll kill this one with Thoron. Man, does she have, nah, she doesn't have a better tome. Ooh, I want to see Edith's animations, so let's put those on really quickly. Let's see. Okay, awesome. Yep, we should be able to get the job done pretty reliably here. Ooh, that's a really nice palette for her. Makes perfect sense, too. Awesome, love to see it. Man, we're only on turn 2. This is gonna be a long map, isn't it? My recording this, showing quite a long time, though to be fair, I did spend a decent bit of time in preparations, so... Oh well, can we kill this? I really want to kill this. Yo, that's not very much damage at all. However, that should be okay. Okay, that's fine. Very much scary. Let's see, how do you fare against Shine versus... Okay, Shine and Elwyn are more or less the same at this point. I'll keep the Elwind on the front, go ahead and break this Bright Rune. We have 1 more in the convoy, so we have a combined 10 uses remaining. So hopefully we don't need to use all of them in this map, because I have the feeling that we're going to be needing them later. Okay, we'll have to use the Silver Sword, but that's perfectly okay. Whew, good to have the Gorgons out of the way. That one has a stone spell as well. Loretta would have had to help us out on that front. I guess that's something I should have mentioned. I can take a look at Loretta. She's still on the weak side in terms of stats, but she comes with Physic and Restore, so she can do a little bit of helping. Generally speaking, her stats aren't anything to be proud of. She's the queen. You more or less protect her, you know, otherwise she becomes die. And that's not what she wants. I still don't know if she's a game over condition, but I would assume so. Let's see. The Dorado is so good. It's so good. It's such a good weapon, especially on Wanda. Literally my best unit right now. Well, maybe not my best unit, but my best girl, and that's what matters. Wanda. Wanda doubles that one. There's no way. Yeah, this one's way too strong. Well, Boone is going to be okay for now. I need this one to die. That much is a certainty. I don't want to stand there and give that guy the fort, but I also don't want to use the floret. I guess I'll use the floret. Ooh, nice crit. Double crit this guy. He's the embodiment of pain and suffering at this point in time. I guess what I'll do is I'll just trade over the silver sword with her. I'll also trade over the Wodao. And then I'll equip... I don't know, I'll leave the silver lance on and mend her. Whoosh. There are some new supports and whatnot that have been added since the last, well, since the newest patch, and I haven't really had the chance to interact with them that much. Speaking of, this is actually a, let's see, I wouldn't say, like, super far behind patch in terms of how far along the patch has come, but it's decently far along. Like, in the newest patch, one of the maddening mode exclusive characters of this patch was moved to non-maddening mode exclusive, and then on maddening mode, ouch, 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 okay. Malee's Claw, big difference from Sharp Claw. There are 2 new maddening mode exclusive characters in the new patch, and also some new maps, so you should check out the newest patch if you have the chance, because it's really cool. It's a big improvement. Some of the portraits, ouch. Some of the portraits have been revamped. The game has, generally speaking, just strictly gotten better, and that's really cool to see. I'm really glad to see that the, you know, the game continues to improve. That's one of the best things about ROM hacks. You can continue to watch them flourish after the fact. Also, Joseph might die, because I just noticed that there's a Mouth Doog that might be able to hit him. I hope that's not the case. I really hope that's not the case, because I don't want to restart again. That would be unfortunate in the highest way. Yeah, it can reach him. He's gonna die. There's no way he's avoiding that. I'm gonna speed along, because I already know what's gonna happen. Yeah. Oh, he actually did dodge. Okay. Maybe I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe I don't. See, you don't really expect those things to avoid, you know, hitting us. I expected it to be Fiery Fang, truth be told. I completely forgot about the other one. But okay, I'm cool with that. A little bit of morning time coffee. Okay. Boone is going to get doubled here, almost certainly. Yeah, and also, very certainly not hit with the Devil Axe, because despite its accuracy, this thing's really strong. That makes sense. Saoirse has quite low resistance. This map is going to be very difficult on maddening mode, I can tell you that right now. I hope that my units level really well, because otherwise we're in a lot of danger. Ouch. Ah. I never should have left home. Alright, I guess we'll be right back once again. Alright, so, howdy. This is Editing Follow actually this time. And we have a bit of an issue with this particular chapter. So, the way things went, let me just go ahead and grab my controller and show you something here. Yeah, here we are with chapter 30, saved and whatnot. Now, I'm sure you know what this means. It means that there's been an issue with the recording. I recorded that last chapter for like 2.5 hours. Excuse the voice crack there. Maybe my voice is just gone for the day. But either way, recorded that for like 2.5 hours, and I'll show you right over here on the side somewhere the recording file or whatever. I don't know what happened directly after I after I ended that section right there to restart. I must have bumped my mic or disconnected it in some way. I don't know what happened, but I entirely lost the audio for my voice. And I'm telling you right now, there's not a chance I'm replaying this chapter today. I'm just gonna let it go with how it is. I'll show you some clips, some whatever here while I'm talking. I'll just let you see how I died at least like 7 times. Maybe it was 6, I don't know. I died a bunch of times in this map. I guess while those clips and whatnot are playing, I'll give you a quick rundown of my thoughts for this chapter. I think that this chapter was, generally speaking, fine. However, I also think that it really enforces the use of your legendary weapons in combination with the units that you have needing to be very strong. If you don't meet those two conditions, you are going to suffer through this chapter, and most certainly I did suffer. I will say this is probably my second least favorite chapter in the game as of right now, and I don't know if it has been changed up to the point of, like, the newest patch. If it has, I will happily retract what I've said here. I don't know the circumstances surrounding it, and I won't know until I meet this chapter in my maddening mode Iron Man playthrough. So I guess make sure to check that out whenever the time is here when I play this chapter on that. If I get there, you know, I never know. But either way, generally speaking, this chapter was kind of just not great for me. Don't let that detract from the entirety of the game at all. This is just one poor chapter in a very lovely game. The biggest issue is largely just a large swarm of monster enemies that cannot be touched regardless of your abilities, unless you have your legendary weapons on hand. The other big issue with this chapter, really the only one that I really want to, like, see addressed, I suppose, because, like, at the end of the day, this could have just been my experience with the chapter. It may not be completely on the game. It may have just been, like, my circumstances that made the chapter bad, and I'm completely willing to admit that, but I am just speaking from my experience here in that this chapter was not a great time, personally. The Gorgons that spawn from the top right corner of the map are capable of one-shotting the queen on the castle, and you have to move to intercept them in a way that you are seriously putting yourself at risk pretty heavily. The way I ended up tackling that was that I had Winifred with a longbow, and Noelle go up top and just shoot them as possible. Not exactly my favorite thing to do, considering that Winifred can't really retaliate at one range short of using the Shining Bow, which would have to be traded over anyway. It's kind of just a messy situation all around. I will say I really appreciated the shops this map introducing such weapons as the Giant's Bow, giving me the opportunity to buy more Bolganone tomes for Lael, who, with her Slayer effect, is incredibly strong and will continue to be strong throughout her duration as the monster enemies keep flowing. And generally speaking, the rest of the map wasn't really that bad. I do sort of take issue with the flying enemies in the bottom left that will immediately swarm your boat. I have been informed that in maddening mode, they do, the death coil that spawns from the bottom left will one-shot the boats. I don't know if that's exactly the truth, but I'm going to take my co-host KJ's word for it, that that's probably the truth. I could see the bottom left and the top right corners being a little bit reduced in their significance. The top left and the bottom right, respectively, really aren't that bad, and, like, are honestly manageable. Even the bottom and the top of the map, pretty manageable. Like, even the left and the right of the map, not that bad. It's just those corners of the map that really pose issues, because you have to have two dedicated forces in those corners, while also making strong use of your legendary weapons in a way that just kind of doesn't make the gameplay flow, in my opinion. Like I said, don't let this perhaps detailed criticism of this particular chapter get in the way of you playing it for yourself. The beautiful thing about hacks is they can always be improved, and this is only one instance, in my personal opinion, of this game falling short of the mark. I hope that that is a suitable explanation for all that has taken place here, given the circumstances. I know it won't really replace an entire hour and a half of commentary live while I'm experiencing it, while you can see my suffering throughout the several losses that I had in this map. But that's about as good as it's gonna get, because there's no way I'm gonna... Well, I mean, at this point, I would have to reload a save from a long time ago and play a bunch of chapters over again. But there's no way that I'm going to go back and play this chapter unless unless it's the next chapter that I have to play, you know what I mean? So I guess don't expect to see the precise ending of this chapter. Look forward to the next episode, though, where we do tackle Chapter 30, Tapestry of Life. We are closing in on the end of the game. I think this is either the last chapter or the second to last chapter. Most likely second to last, perhaps third to last, I don't exactly know. But expect to see the ending of this series. At least if you're watching in the now rather than in the future, expect to see the end of the series this week, leading right up into the Iron Man streams on Friday. If you're watching from the future, feel free to, I don't know, go back and watch the stream VODs, whatever you feel like doing, as long as you're having a good old time here on my channel. But with that out of the way, this has been Editing Ifolo. I don't know if I'll have any extra clips to show you here at the end. If not, then I hope you have a great day. Make sure to leave me a like if you like the video. Despite the issues, maybe share the video with friends. Although, if I'm being truthful, maybe share a different video of mine with friends, because this chapter is not a good representation of the entire game. But with all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.